Whoa. Well, my friends, we really do have some exciting days upon us. I went out and I rented this big chipper. To me, it's a big chipper, 7-inch chipper, and we're going to be working on the property over the next couple of days with this guy. And I've rented this in order to manage all of these giant piles that I've accumulated over the last couple of years. I had thought about burning. We've had a very dry few months here in the state of Maine, and so I want to lean away from burning and just chip. Now, I had a video that I put out a few days ago on the Katz Moses Universal Sharpening Jig, and for my small channel, that video did pretty well. And if you were introduced to me because of that sharpening jig video, I do want you to know that this is Kennebec Life and Craft, so there will be woodworking videos. There will be timber framing videos, sawmilling videos. You can look at the history of the things that I've done, and it's a pretty good smattering of the kinds of things that I'm interested in and that I want this channel to be about. And so I don't want you to think that it's strictly woodworking. There'll be a lot of it. And ultimately, I am viewing my home that I want to build on our property here in central Maine. I'm viewing our home as one giant woodworking project. So we'll be doing cabinets, we'll be doing furniture and tables special for in particular areas in the house, and bookshelves and all of the things pertaining to woodworking. But I just wanted to give you a little bit of heads up that if you have found me because of that video, this isn't a strictly woodworking channel, but there'll be a lot of woodworking as well as a lot of other things, whether it's sawmilling, chainsawing, or any of the things like that as well. And I really do hope that you'll follow along. It'll be a lot of fun. Well, I think I'm going to get along with that machine quite well. That's going to be a fun time, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow when I'm able to get all this brush off the property. Now, I have several trees that I need to take down, and I want to take them down now because ultimately they'll be good firewood trees. I've got a couple small oaks in particular that'll be good firewood trees, as well as just making sure that, you know, I don't clean up this whole thing and get rid of all of this debris and then just create more for myself down the road. So I want to think ahead, get down some of these trees, get the branches off so we can chip those as well tomorrow. So really the thing that I'm trying to do right now is make things a little bit easier for us tomorrow when we really have the chipper going and have a lot more action. Getting some of that pile onto another pile that'll be closer to when we bring the chipper in further to the property, as well as getting some of these trees down, pushing those logs back. That's all firewood. That'll be something that I'll work on later this fall, or maybe even early winter, just depending on how much snow we get and how boxed out of the property I may or may not be. But the trees that I just cut down, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut those up. I'm not going to buck them up. I'm just going to cut them up and throw them on that pile, and then those will be ready to split for next year as well. So as you can see, I got the timber frame behind me, at least the sills and the joists that are all set up right here. And I have two trees right here, two hemlock trees that are just not well situated, and they do not have good root systems or anything like that. They're really janky, and these have to go. And so I'm going to take these down right now. I'm a little nervous about it just because I don't want them to fall on the timber frame, of course, or to have any issues that way. They both look like I'll be able to lay them right in front of here, and there's nothing great by way of trees right here that they're going to ruin, so I'm not that worried about that side of it. But of course, behind me, I don't want them to fall on all that work. So anyway, that's what I'm going to go ahead and do right now, and we'll see how it goes. Whoa! Okay, all right, well, in one of the first videos that I ever did, maybe even the first one, I said something to the effect of, never do what you see me doing out here, and thankfully that turned out okay, but it landed where I hoped that it would, generally, and for a second there, I thought it was going to go on the timber frame, and thank the Lord it didn't. You know, on second thought, I think I'm going to go ahead and leave that one. It's leaning the opposite way. You can probably see it there. It is leaning that way. But I'm going to go ahead and leave that one and deal with it another time. I don't need the headache of it. Now last year, when I was clearing the majority of this lot, the way that I did it was just like I'm about to do it right now. This backhoe, as I've explained in other videos, really does a wonderful job in a lot of different areas. I mean, this was one of the ways in which I initially knew it was going to be a great thing to have, because I had so much by way of little trees, little brush that needed to be cleaned up. And just being able to grab it like so and pull it down, or even bigger things like this, I've largely been able to do something about. Might have to finagle it a little bit, do stuff like this, but largely I'm able to do what I need when it comes to just pulling these things out, you know. Of course, this is a little bit on the big side for this little machine, but you get the idea. Well, I think until tomorrow, that's going to be it for me. I'm going to make sure that the events of tomorrow are on this same video, so keep watching, and we'll see you in the morning. Well, my friends, it's the beginning of a new day, and I'm excited to get going. We're going to have a bunch of time lapses, getting rid of all of this junk, and I can't wait to see what it looks like when it's all done, so follow along. Well, I got to say that was a lot of work, and I'm so thankful for all of those who are willing to come and to participate in a chipping day with me, friends, family, and just I'm so blessed to have people in my life who would be willing to spend a Saturday helping me with this kind of a project. Really grateful to all of you who came out to help with it. Thank you so much. Now, in regard to what got done, I have to say on another side, there was zero disappointment in the work of those who came, but that machine was not big enough for what we needed to do. I had contacted the equipment company that I was renting it from, and they said, no, you really ought to just get the 7-inch. So they talked me out of getting a bigger one. And in hindsight, I absolutely should have gotten the bigger chipper. It would have gone a lot further in getting this done. We had to do a lot of chainsawing to kind of cut out, different crotches and whatnot in branches to throw that through the chipper. So that was a frustration for the entirety of the project this morning and this afternoon. To have a chainsaw going the whole time in order to get anything accomplished is pretty frustrating, to be honest. So I'm disappointed that they had talked me down from a bigger one, but you live and you learn, as one of the guys said a couple times. So right now you're set up on my firewood. That's going to be my firewood for at least the next year or two, and I'm going to move all of that elsewhere, probably back over in this area where I have a bunch that I have to do anyways in regard to firewood. So that'll kind of be firewood central for a while. And then where this big maple tree is in the center of the house lot, I'm going to take that down at some point here pretty soon once I get these logs out of here. And I'm going to make this an area where we just burn. And we will burn and burn and burn all of the rest of this brush, which really is the ideal scenario anyway, because it's free and you don't need an army of people to do it. Today, for something like what we were doing, it really did loosen up a lot of the area in the sense that I can move a lot easier now in here with the tractor and get some things done that way, and even have more space to just kind of move stuff around. And so I'm grateful for that. But overall, we had a really good day. So thankful again for those who helped me, and I really appreciate it. So hey, until next time, God bless you, and we'll see you then.